Multi-tier column charts. The multi-tier column chart contains 3 parts. In a first tier, this template compares different scenarios in a grouped column chart. The second and third tiers show different absolute and relative variance charts. For example, these 3-tier charts are being used to analyze the temporal development of different scenarios. This template can be used best if 2 scenarios for not more than 25 time periods are presented. If a third scenario must be shown, 2 scenario triangles must be used. Dimensions. In Chart 3, dimension is limited on maximum 1 dimension. First dimension should be an array of strings that contain some sort of descriptions. For example, an array which contains month names. Measures. Measure are limited on minimum 3 and maximum 7 measures. First measure. The first measure is used by the behind bars. Second measure. The second measure is used by the left front bars. Third measure. The third measure is used by the right front bars. In all of this measure's properties, is located measure type when can be defined. 1. Back bar. 2. Front bar AC. 3. Front bar FC. If these 3 measures are not selected, then the data will not be displayed correctly. The other 4 measures are optional. 1. Difference. 2. Percentage. 3. Position line 1. 4. Position line 2. Every measure type can be selected only once. Appearance. Appearance tab consists of couple tabs what covering all the settings in Chart 3, settings, bar border, scaling, number formatting, measure function, titles and descriptions, font, colors, layer settings, layer color, Excel export, PDF export. Back bar type. The property can contain the values from 1 to 7. 1. Represent AC, actual period. 2. Represent PL, plan period. 3. Represent FC, forecast. 4. Represent PY, previous year. 5. Represent layer user 1, 6. Represent layer user 2, 7. Represent layer user 3. The changes are reflected on the behind bar, the second and the third horizontal line. Left, right and back bar type. The property can contain the values from 1 to 7. 1. Represent AC, actual period. 2. Represent PL, plan period. 3. Represent FC, forecast. 4. Represent PY, previous year. 5. Represent layer user 1, 6. Represent layer user 2, 7. Represent layer user 3. The changes are reflected on the behind bar, the second and the third horizontal line. All the properties from back bar type is reflected in the right and left front bar type, are used to present changes on right or left bars from actual period. Left title type. The property can contain the values from 1 to 7. 1. Represent AC, actual period. 2. Represent PL, plan period. 3. Represent FC, forecast. 4. Represent PY, previous year. 5. Represent layer user 1, 6. Represent layer user 2, 7. Represent layer user 3. The changes are reflected on the title, on the left side of the chart. Back bar direction. Back bar direction controlling the presentation of the back bar on first axis, presenting the bars left or right. Property can be used from drop-down selection, or with expression with following values. 0. The back bar will be on the left side. 1. The back bar will be on the right side. Suppress empty. The property can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox or with expression button, FX. The property can contain next values. 0. Show all rows. 1. Show only the rows which have a description, when dimension 1 is not null or empty. Highlight value, for collaboration, with your coworkers you can use highlight property to present value what is not correct or not satisfy corporate need. In this property you need to add number what is incorrect and that number will be highlight with color what is defined in color section and property highlight color. For example, if we need to highlight value plus 970 on chart simple add number in the property. Fixed space between bars is used when we want to present fixed space, or we want to use space in chart responsive. This property can be set up with click on checkbox, or with expression using two available possibility, 0, space between bars is calculated automatically, 1, space between bars is fixed. The space width is 1/3 of the bar width. Show first, second and third chart, the property is used to show or hide the charts, can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox or with expression button, FX, using following values, 0, hide percentage, difference or timeline chart, 1, show percentage, difference or timeline chart. Show total chart, the property is used to show or hide the total row in chart can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox or with expression button, FX, using following values, 0, hide total chart, 1, show total chart. Show total description, the property is used to show or hide the total description in chart can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox or with expression button, FX, using following values, 0, hide total description, 1, show total description. Show window border, the property is used to show or hide the border around the chart, can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox, or with expression button, FX, using following values, 0, hide the border around the chart, 1, show the border around the chart. Actual property, defines actual period versus plan. Highlight line defined where starting actual period from the left side and where beginning calculation of the right side of the chart. Combi bar, by using combi bar, you get an option to show additional bar values in the actual month. For example, this is useful when there is a need to show forecast values for the remaining of the actual month. It is represented by dividing the current value of the forecast, by the number of the days in the current month, and multiplying the obtained value by the number of remaining days. The property can be used by checking or unchecking the checkbox or with expression with following values, 0, combi bar will be hidden, 1, combi bar will be displayed. Percentage limit, defines the percentage limit of the percentage bars. If value of the bar is bigger than the value specified in this property, it will show an arrow. For example, if the user set property to 100, then all percentage bars which value is greater than 100 will have a triangle arrow, without the small percentage box. Difference lower value, defines which values, numbers will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property difference lower color. This property only affects difference columns. For example, if the difference lower value is 50, and the difference lower color is red, all numbers that are less or equal 50 will be colored in red. Difference upper value, defines which values, numbers will be displayed in a color that the user defined in the property difference upper color. This property only affects difference columns. For example, if the difference upper value is 100, and the difference upper color is green, all numbers that are less or equal 100 will be colored in green. Bar borders, properties give more visual presentation of the bars. Surrounding the bars with the border, separately can be set up the borders for different bars in chart. This menu is composed of the following properties: back bar, left front bar, right front bar, difference bar, percentage bar. Border can be defined with different colors. In section color, selecting the property border color, user can use different colors. Scaling, visualization consists of two components. There is space where data is displayed, and then the objects that represent the data. The point is that size of the value represented with bars is very important. The scaling drastically affect the visualization, and the story that it tells. In Chart 2 are representing 4 scaling option for different user needs. Manually use of scaling, using drop-down menu and selecting manually, you set property to 0, then the bar scaling depend of amount. Bar length, percentage amount and percentage bar length property, auto scaling, using from menu you set the property to 1, that is mean that bar scaling is automatically calculated. Use of scaling, you set the property to 2, this property is used for writing scaling by absolute value. Defined expression, is set property to 3 and is used to controlling scaling trot expression. Number format are used to control the display of cell values that contain numeric data. Using the button with questionnaire, will be displayed predefined formats. With simple click on desired format, you can copy and paste in the property. Currency defines the currency if a number with currency is used. Separators, 2 separators, are available in section number format, and that is, thousand and decimal separators. Thousand abbreviation, if is used K, in the property then the value of 1000 would be displayed as 1K. Million abbreviation, if is used M, in the property then the value of 1 million will be displayed as 1M. Billion abbreviation, if is used B, in the property then the value of 1 billion will be displayed as 1B. Trillion abbreviation, if is used T, in the property then the value of 1 trillion will be displayed as 1T. Measure function, used for measure, from on bar to another bar and calculate positive and negative difference between two items. To use it, just drag and drop from one item to another. The property can be activated with checking or unchecking the checkbox, or with expression button, FX, using following values, 0, no, 1, yes. The other properties in the measure function section, is used for visual presentation, like positive or negative color, for the positive or negative value arrow of measure, title. Displaying title in this functionality, font family, font size and font color are in function of presenting fonts. Titles and description. Title defines the title which is positioned on both sides of the percentage and difference chart. If the property is empty then the title will take the description from the backbar layer. Total description defines the description of the total. Font, a selection of fonts, as well as changing their properties are placed in the font menu. This menu contains the following properties, that control the properties of tooltip as well: font, size, font color, tooltip size, tooltip font color. Colors, a selection of colors, as well as changing their properties are placed in the color menu. This menu contains the following properties: background, defines the background of the extension; hover bar color, defines the color on bar hovering; bar border color, highlight color, defines the color of the highlighted value; positive color, defines the color of the positive value; negative color, defines the color of the negative value; neutral color, defines the color of the values that are between difference lower and upper value; border color. Layer settings, properties to define values for maximum of tree users. To set up users must be selected property, behind bar type, left front bar type, or right front bar type for specific user. Example, select in the behind bar type user 1, in the layer settings add value, and set up color for the user. Layer colors, define colors for the users. Exports, with this chart is only available exports. To use exports, have to be installed on same or dedicated server exports API.